Hey folks, thanks for tuning into the BAMF podcast. I'm your host, Mike Lafferty, here with a cast of thousands, including Walt Rebelliard. How you doing, Walt?
Rah.
And Alice Peng, aka Lala, from the Babies with Knives podcast. How you doing, Alice?
Hi, everyone. Doing great. Thanks for having me.
You have the longest and most interesting introduction of anybody, because everyone's like, Babies with Knives? That sounds dangerous. What is that? You can't give young children sharp employment. Anyway, Meredith Gerber from DrivethruRPG Publisher Relations was kind enough, hey Meredith, to join us today, and we just kind of wanted to do sort of a casual, free-flowing chance for DTRPG to kind of, tell publishers and customers what's going on. So hey, how you doing today, Meredith?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. Really excited.
Oh well, thanks for joining us. How is life at DTRPG these days?
Very busy, but very good. We have a lot of cool things coming up, and a lot of obviously cool things we're going to be talking about today, and just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So always good.
All right, cool. So there's been a lot going on at DTRPG last few months. I guess maybe the most interesting thing right now. Tell me about a phone PDF and why I care about this as a publisher or a customer.
Sure. Absolutely. So we decided to come up with this new format. It's called the phone PDF. And what it is essentially, it's a condensed version of core books. Some people have done adventures and supplements, but mainly core books. Because when you're at the table playing, I know I have this happen at our tabletop nights, and you pull up the book, you have to sit there and scroll to get all the way to where you need to. Yeah. Same goes for, PDFs that have bookmarks. Even if you get right to it, you still have to pinch and zoom to read everything. And then that takes a long time. So the phone just sitting there, just pinch it and zoom in. I'm literally doing that right now. So with the phone PDFs, it's taking the best of those aspects and making it into a format that is where you can click it, like a bookmark, but the text is much bigger and all the flavor text is taken out. So essentially it's just what you need at the table. Like if you quickly need to look up a stat or you quickly need to look up how, combat works, it's right there for you. So that's pretty good.
It's a much shorter book.
Yeah.
The standard PDF. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it has some artwork, but we essentially just take that all out and then just get the guts in that you would use at a table. And again, it's quicker. And moving into how, the industry's going now is a lot of people have their phones. A lot of people don't like lugging books. They like having their phones or their tablets and quickly going through things. So we thought that this would be a good format to go into.
No, got mine right here. And one of the enduring memories I have of playing D&D back in the day, because I'm old, is people like, hey, combat has to stop. Let's look up this table or chart, or look up your encumbrance or something. So
I think a great example of this before it actually happened is Knight Errant Media with their book Titan Effect. Mm-hmm. They came out with a streamlined version for tablets where everything was hyperlinked. And if there was even a mention of another section in that section, you could get to it from the mention. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that was really a cool way to see a product for tablets with scaled down artwork. So instead of these big 300, 600 DPI images, they were down to 72, 100, 150. But they did what you did, or what you're talking about, where they changed the PDF slightly, they changed the document slightly so that it always looked like you were looking on it as if you were an operator operating in that world. Yeah. As you were looking at a tablet, trying to get that information. So that's very cool stuff.
Yeah. And the Pugmire PDF is free. So if you wanted to just kind of test out and see how the phone PDFs look, that's available on our site right now, which is great, so you can kind of see what we're talking about in visual form as opposed to explaining it.
So this is a whole new kind of layout. If I'm interested in doing one as a publisher, do you guys have templates? Do you have a how-to guide? How do I get into it?
So we do have a how-to guide on our publisher knowledge base. We do have essentially the steps. And as always, we always say, if you need help, let us know, we'll walk you through it. And also we have a DM's Guild creator who actually made a legitimate template as well on DM's Guild. So there's that too. So there's a lot of resources out there, but essentially looking through the Pugmire PDF and then seeing how that works, and then looking at the step-by-step is a good start to figure out what to do next for that.
Okay, cool. To find those resources, let's see. I think I found, if you just search on phone PDF under format, you come to the phone PDF page on,
Yep.
you know what? Why don't I be a smart monkey and use some of this great technology we're talking about right now?
Yeah, and I can pull up that other one for you.
Yeah, hang on. I can do a share screen.
But yeah, that format sounds really interesting. I know that while Brandon loves using the hard copy books, I'm much more of a digital person.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested in playing around with it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And as you can see too, like we have like Masks is another one that we have. Like there's a lot of different titles, and the more as the weeks pass, the more we get, which is great. So hopefully we'll get more core books through, so people can use it at their table.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I'm trying. While Walt was talking, I was like, there's a game that I played a while back that had everything hyperlinked as well, and it's not the same one Walt was talking about, but I love it when they do that because it makes it really easy to find what you need.
Absolutely.
And the game that I'm thinking of, they had actually specifically their index and glossary in the very back linked, and I can't remember what it is. So I'm looking forward to playing around with the.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you guys just did an actual play of Masks over on Babies with Knives, and they've got Masks here on Phone Edition.
Yeah, we did do that with Lloyd Gann of Modifius Games.
Awesome.
Lloyd's a lot of fun.
Oh, hey, Jacob Blackman is about to join us because we like to have lots and lots of co-hosts.
Yay! More people.
Jacob,
Hey,
how you doing?
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks for showing up. I'm sorry to get you a little bit late. Meredith, Jacob, Meredith.
Yes.
Pleasure to meet you.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Jacob's an illustrator and also a writer. Works with Owen Stevens at Rogue Genius Games.
Oh, I love Owen. Fantastic.
He is a great guy. He's my favorite former Paizo developer. All right, well, cool. So phone PDFs, they're a thing. They're all the cool hip kids are doing, and we'll be seeing more of them. Should we talk about, are we getting bigger publishers to buy into this? Is this still kind of bleeding edge?
Yeah, we sent out essentially a big email to our top publishers that we said, hey, would you be interested in doing this? And a lot of the problem is that it was very close to Gen Con. So it kind of just fell off for a couple people, but we are going to be getting more and more in, especially from top publishers and independent publishers too. So, yeah.
Cool. That is really awesome. I guess while we're talking about cool new stuff happening, maybe we should talk about Astral VTT.
Yes, absolutely.
We have a partnership with them. How's that work, and what's the value add there for publishers and customers at DriveThru?
So right now we're currently, first of all, Astral Tabletop is amazing if you haven't checked it out yet. And they're so fast with building things, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Most of the time when we talk to Tom, who is in charge over there, and say, hey, can we get this? He's super quick, which is great. But it's going to be an alternative, option for virtual tabletops. We're talking with publishers right now about what they kind of expect with what's going to happen with Astral. We want to be able to have it where customers can integrate their purchases into Astral Tabletop right away. So that's still a discussion that we're having internally, but we are hoping that we'll have more information soon on that. So, because like I said, we wanted to talk to our publishers first before anything, since we're going to be putting their content on our site. But we have Chaosium, I believe, has Call of Cthulhu template already on there. So it's going to, if you look on Astral and sign up for a free account, you'll be able to see kind of how that works with their maps and their sounds and things like that.
Yeah, that's really fantastic. A lot of companies that when you buy stuff, it's delivered through DriveThru. It absolutely makes a lot of people I know love buying it because they like having everything centralized on DriveThru.
Yep.
And so this way you don't have to figure out, where did I buy that book? Where do I need to find it? It's always just centralized. So having that centralized with Astral makes things much easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so here's the Astral website.
Mhm.
If I'm back on DrivethruRPG, let's say I got Astral and I'm looking for battle maps or whatever.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm a very slow old man. How would I find that stuff on DriveThru?
Probably what we're going to have is we will have it as an option. Again, still talking internally about what we're going to do with that. But if you were to like go to, I love that I'm moving the mouse as if I am controlling this. But if you were to pick a map, for example, then it would have another like, you know, you download it and then instead of like Dropbox, it'll say like send to Astral and then it would open up the Astral client. Yeah.
So that'd be under mapping under.
Yeah.
Okay, so sci-fi map tiles or something.
Yeah, and then if you were to click that, you know, then what we'll have that option hopefully available. But yeah, it would be just like how when you download something, you have, like I said, the option to download it to Dropbox. Yeah, so it'll be the same.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so
it's really interesting.
We'll see though. So we're coming out with new news soon.
Okay, so this is us still figuring out how it's going to actually work.
Absolutely.
Cool. I'm really interested. We've been using Roll20 a lot on this website. Sorry, on this podcast. I'm really interested to see how Astral compares and what kind of resources they got for that.
Absolutely.
So that should be fun. Well, hey, let's see other things to talk about in the RPG publishing world. Less fun, but still happening. There's a print-on-demand price increase.
Yes, 3%.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you have questions about that, or you want me to just go right into it?
Well, please feel free.
Okay. So as if people are not aware, we are with Lightning Source. They are our main printer. And we have put off an increase for quite a while with them because we're always constantly trying to negotiate our contract with them. So they came back to us with a 3% increase on all book titles. And one of the things they took away in our contract earlier this year was bulk discounts. And we have, a lot of publishers use that, especially like who go to like Gen Con or Origins or whatever. They use that bulk discount to get 500 copies and then get a percentage off to send it to one certain location. And so we lost that. I live by a train, if you can hear that.
So good.
Just as a heads up. Trains and cats. But that's one of the things is we came back and said, hey, like, we want our bulk discount pricing back. So we will be getting that back too. And those are being integrated in the very, very near future. We kind of set a warning out to our publishers about it. And then I think like our tech team is like literally working on it currently. So yeah. So it kind of balances itself out. Like it's a 3% increase, but we also are getting bulk discounts back. So those are like kind of what we negotiated with them.
Okay. So it sounds like the smart move. If you're a publisher who does conventions, has the opportunity to buy in bulk, you want to go ahead and plan in advance so you can do that to take advantage of that and try to offset the price increase.
Absolutely.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
That is good news. So, hey, what do you like? You've been at DriveThru for kind of a while now, right, Meredith?
5 years this month. Yeah.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
That's almost as long as my kid's been alive.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Birthday's coming up, so
Happy birthday.
Oh, thanks. I gotta go buy an inflatable castle or something. It's a whole. But anyway, what do you like?
Just make it a Dwarven Forge.
Yeah,
It'll last longer.
I always really now. Dwarf, are you talking about the stuff, the print and build stuff on DriveThru? Are you talking about miniatures, Jacob?
I'm talking about the stuff Stefan Picorni makes, the indestructible miniature blocks.
Oh.
But I've got a bunch of the maps from DriveThru. They're beautiful when you get them.
So the indestructible blocks, are those like Legos when you step on them?
They're a little painful if you step on them because they've got certain jagged edges. Don't step on them, but they're actually really, really, really high quality and really nice by all means.
And they'll survive you stepping on them.
They will. They really, really will. And they snap together a lot better than Legos half the time.
Oh, I guess we should mention you guys are now doing 3D printer files there too.
We have been for a while. Yeah, we don't have a specific printer, but yeah, if you go through our, we have tons. Like every time I open up that section, there are just so many. And now we too, Tom Tullis from Fat Dragon did a whole like video and like article on our site as well about 3D printing. So, because back in the day, 3D printers used to be exorbitant amount of money, and now they're so easy to purchase. But like it's figuring out like which one to pick, and then picking your file. So that's on there. But yeah, we do have that, and it's huge. So.
Yeah, we have about 8 to 10 through our imprint, our sister imprint, which is New Millennium Games. Dominic Sumner, he's got a whole bunch of stuff used for like superhero games, like the Mad Scientist Lair computer, and you even have I think it's what is it? Picnic table. I mean, just things that you can print out and use as environment. So yeah, there he is right there. Oh no, not champions.
No,
nope.
back up your search a little bit.
There you go. Yeah.
There, yay.
So yeah, he's been producing quite a bit. That master base computer, I had somebody print out for me, and that's actually pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Wish I could get it full size, and then like put it in place on my actual computer.
Yeah, right. Just put your monitor into the 3D print. Yeah, of course.
That
nice.
Would
be all right.
That'd be pretty cool.
So, what do you like I mean, 5 years is a long time at a job these days. What do you like the best about being a DTRPG?
I came from a call center corporate environment, so going to drive-thru was very different for me because everyone is just super personal, which I really like. Friendly, awesome. All of our clients are like, when we go to talk to our clients, like, yes, we're trying to talk to them about business, but there's always like that aspect of it that you don't really get in corporate environments, with that personal touch of being like, knowing about people's lives when they're not making games, and talking to them about different ways that you can work together. And so there's a lot of that, a lot of just healthy, happy relationships in the community. So I think that that's the most important thing. And talking to people around the world, which is like so wild to me still. Like when I get emails from people in like Australia or wherever, and they're printing their books and they're having such a good time. It's just like a really just cool thing. So definitely the people is my favorite part.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird how we're getting so much smaller with the internet these days, even just putting together publisher projects. I'm talking to guys across the Pacific, or a lot of guys in England, artists especially. So it's, or guys like Jacob out in Oklahoma. How you doing, Jacob?
I'm okay. I'm a man of few words.
Huh?
I'm a man of few words.
All right. Well, hey, I didn't want to ramble on too much longer. Are there any other highlights we want to hit, things we want to talk about?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I have to think of what to cram in. But I mean, one of the big things that we don't get a lot of love on is our community content programs. It's a great way for people to enter into, like, if they've always wanted to write something, it's a perfect way to kind of like practice that essentially before you go into like a full publisher account. Our DMs Guild community is huge. I just got on their Discord the other day, and it is wild. But it's awesome because they have a different sense of community and trying to support each other. And I think that's really great. But yeah, our community content programs, we have like Pugmire, we have the Cypher system. We even have Fat Dragon. Like if people want to make 3D printing under the Dragon Lock, they can, which is really, really great. I'm trying to think of all the other things that are happening. There's DMs Guild. Yeah. So it's huge. It's again, like one of the most wild things is how big it's gotten.
I would never ask
Storyteller's fault too.
I would never ask you to discuss numbers on the air, but sometimes reading through forum posts about, people talking about their sales numbers on DMs Guild, I'm like, I got to wonder how big this site is compared to the rest of One Bookshelf, because it seems like there's a lot going on over there.
Yeah, I would say that without giving numbers, I can say that it is not as huge as DrivethruRPG, but I mean, it's not far behind us. So, which is awesome, especially for a bunch of people who, like, again, are just making these for fun, or some of them are making them for, their, side hustle. But most people, like one of my coworkers, Scott, has a product on here, and like he just makes beer money every month. It's like not drastic, but it's still like just something extra just for writing down his modules that he's going to be running anyway. So
Yeah, I think the vast quantity of publishers are making beer and pizza money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with a few notable exceptions like Walt, who was planning to retire to Belize on his RPG money.
Which is awesome.
Well, some of the people who are doing DM's Guild stuff are making pretty good money. I just got contacted by someone who's writing a Ravnica adventure, and they're wanting me to do a cover for them. So, and I charge quite a bit for covers, and this is a new someone I've never worked with before. So it's opening up with something big. It's a good contact, and I've looked at a lot of the stuff on DM's Guild, and a lot of this is really good quality stuff.
Especially on Cage, which as you can see, like it's the second one, again, trying to point to it as if people can see what I'm pointing to. But on Cage is like one of the most popular titles. It's in their third, it's in the next row. It's that greenish one. They're in their third volume, a bunch, good chunk of writers, and it's been huge. Volumes 1, 2, and now 3 that just was released. And the quality is ridiculous too. There are times where I'm like just amazed at how well they market themselves, their layout artists, their actual artists. It's wild to me. It's so cool.
I had literally never heard of this product before now.
Mm-hmm.
That's well, I spend all my time looking at superhero RPGs. So
that's also valid.
Yeah. All right, cool. So what's the angle on Uncaged? It's collection of myth and folklore themed adventures written for Dungeons and Dragons 5th Ed. Each original adventure subverts tropes around a female with
yeah, it's awesome.
That is kind of cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's just neat.
Okay, cool. So something else people will check out. All right, so DM's Guild, and there's obviously it seems like almost every major publisher has some kind of content program now.
Hopefully, that's the goal. The goal is to have so many community content programs. I mean, we love it, and the customers love it too, which is great. But our two main ones are DM's Guild and then Storyteller's Vault, which has its own site as well, and that's like Vampire the Masquerade and things like that, and that's going very well. And then, like I said, we have our small, not smaller ones, because Miskatonic University for Chaosium is huge in comparison to most of the other ones. But we keep getting more. It's like Pokemon. We're trying to collect all of them, so we're hoping that's going to happen.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I continue to be amazed at the persistence and spread of Pokemon.
Yes.
So, all right, cool. Well, hey, I'm feeling like we should probably wrap things up here. So
sure.
Any other questions? Any other comments? Walt, Alice, Jacob?
In regards to the Astral virtual tabletop, are you have programs on there, much like Roll20, where someone can produce icon characters and tabletop maps for it?
Yeah, correct.
Excellent.
That's the hope. So, which I'm looking forward to, because I am a person who, even though we have our tabletops every week with our same group of people, I still have friends who I don't get to see a lot. So it'll be nice to have a platform to do that and make it cool. So, which is good.
So for those in our audience that want to get involved with the community projects, where's the link that they would want to go to get involved?
For community content? Yeah, yes. Sure. So DM's Guild is dmsguild.com. And then
they'll just find it and be able to do stuff?
Yeah. DM's Guild, right when you get there, they have learn more about DM's Guild. On any of our sites at all, if you scroll to the very bottom, there is a create content for your favorite games, and that'll take you to our splash page that has all the different options depending on what you want to do. Also in the chat. But they'll have links to the frequently asked questions and things like that. And of course, they can always contact us and say hey, does this look great? Before putting it up. But yeah,
you guys have a great customer service in the few times I've interacted with it, because I've needed information for stuff, and you guys have been very good about it. I've been very happy.
Awesome.
So, and yes, yeah. I was aware that you guys have copious amounts of links, but I want to make sure our viewers can know exactly where to go.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely.
Because we actually had a viewer who simply goes by Skeletor. Hey, Skeletor.
Yeah.
And hey, Christopher House. And what about working for RPG Drive-Thru? Is that comment that just came in? Are you guys hiring?
Right now we are not, but that we're expanding constantly. So like keep an eye out for everything. And like, we'll, as soon as we have that open, like we will absolutely let everybody know.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. I am taking the links that you had in the private chat and I'm putting them over in the YouTube chat.
Oh, that's the smart thing to do. So everyone can see it. Yeah.
Oh no,
we don't judge.
No, it's all good.
I think I might have you guys locked away from YouTube comments anyway, because we get some crazy people in there sometimes.
Never happens.
So, what do you play yourself, Meredith? You say you do tabletop time.
Yes.
What are you playing?
So we, on Wednesdays, we do storyteller rotation, where each of us do a game for 2 months and then we rotate. Right now we are playing 13th Age on Wednesday, which is really fun. And then on our storyteller can't make it like the last Wednesday, so I'm running Cyberpunk Red off of the Jumpstart, which is really good. And then every Sunday we play Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. So lots of games. It's very fun.
Yeah, I heard that the Cyberpunk Jumpstart kit's actually really awesome. I haven't gotten a chance to look into it myself, but unlike a lot of starter kits, they actually have enough for you to actually run like a real campaign. Whereas a lot of starter boxes, they have just enough for you to get like a demo game in. And so we generally avoid starter kits, but I've been told, no, get the starter kit. You avoid all others, but get this one.
Everything, yeah, because they released it at Gen Con, and I have like the actual physical, and they're like, oh, we're going to release it on Drive-Thru, and I'm like, okay, and I looked at it, they have literally every single thing as a download. They have little people, and they have, all sorts of like just options for your campaign, and like, it's good, I would say. It's probably one of the better jump starts I've seen. So.
There's the cover.
There it is.
Yep.
I guess we should just mention that according to the calendar, Blade Runner is no longer a futuristic movie. So we're all living in cyberpunk world now.
Yeah, it's happening.
Speaking of, do we want to talk on the hacking attacks?
Yeah, we can talk on that briefly, sure.
Okay. So you guys have had some problems the last couple of weeks. All publishers' accounts have been reset.
Yep.
Has everything settled down? Are we still seeing problems? What's going on?
Everything has been taken care of. So essentially what had happened is our site didn't get hacked per se, but this is what we always tell people. So a lot of our, a handful of creators or publishers, there are about 35 of them, they use the same login and password with Drive-Thru that they do everywhere else. So the hackers were able to essentially clone that and just use our site to log in and then take the money that they needed to. We reimbursed everybody that was affected. But just to be like extra safe, we forced a reset for any account that had, funds tied to it. So earnings or anything like that. And that's kind of where we're at right now. And just telling people don't use the same password on sites that have, where it's going to have earnings is essentially what it is. As unfortunate as it happened, but, it was taken care of swiftly. And then, like I said, instead of us just sitting there just resetting everyone's password, we just said, forget it, just reset everything. And that way it kind of forces people to make a new password that they have not used on other sites. So that's our big takeaway from that.
Okay, no, that's smart protocol anyway. Work in IT, I wish people would. That's a smart response that solves the problem, as opposed to more gradual steps where hey, think about changing your password. Well,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Cool. So good. Very pleasant talking to you. Thank you so much.
It was so nice talking to you. Thank you for having me.
Can we have you on again?
Yeah, totally. I would love to be here.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Well, hey, we'll ping you. I know you guys are going to get busy. Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm guessing, are peak times. But we'll ping you in January once you have a chance to decompress. And
that
maybe
sounds great.
Again.
Sure, I'd love to.
All right, excellent.
Awesome.
Hey, thanks, everyone, for coming out. Thanks to our listeners and viewers over on YouTube. And we'll catch you next time on the BAMF Podcast.
Bye, everyone.
Now I click End Broadcast, and there's an